I'm supposed to make this video on F-Zero, but I barely know anything about the franchise. So the easy solution is to consume every single piece of F-Zero media in a short period of time. Oh yeah, it's montage time. Oh yeah. Now I'm ready. Welcome back to Parallel Rosters. This time we will be exploring the F-Zero series, the high-speed racing game made by Nintendo. In Super Smash Bros., the series only has one playable character and one assist trophy, which is unfortunate because unlike some of the franchises we covered in previous episodes, F-Zero has a really big cast of characters that actually could be represented in Smash in more ways than just trophies and spirits. But to be fair to Super Smash Bros., the F-Zero series has pretty much been dead since 2004, and there seems to be no plans to bring it back to life anytime soon. Speaking of F-Zero games, I actually have a game concept that could be cool, but that has like a 0% chance of ever happening, and it has been sitting in my head alongside a couple of other unrealistic takes on Nintendo games that I would like to see happen one day. It would basically be like a GTA-like game where you play as Captain Falcon, hunting bounties and saving the galaxy and racing and stuff like that. Tell me in the comments if you would be interested in me going into more details on this game and the other Nintendo games I mentioned. It could be the start of a new series on my channel. But enough about this hypothetical video series, we're here to talk about Super Smash Bros. As you know, Captain Falcon is the only playable character in Super Smash Bros. And has been there since the very first one. Weirdly enough, Smash Bros. Made Captain Falcon into the character that he is today. Captain Falcon's moveset is so iconic that it will basically be a crime to suggest a rework, so instead, let's just move on to the next character, who is, unsurprisingly, Samurai Godot. I say unsurprisingly because he has been an assist trophy ever since Brawl, and would be one of the top candidates to make it into Smash one day, and probably would have been in Smash already if Falcon was not the only one from the franchise to make it in. Godot is buff and strong, but also surprisingly agile and skilled with a blade. His dash attack would be like his assist trophy to serve as a reference. His reveal trailer could be a remake of the race in the opening cutscene of Melee, but after his crash, we see Godot come out of the rubble and the splash screen would appear. Godot stings the competition or something like that. The next character is Piku, one of the original pilots from F-Zero. This alien hitman is a precise marksman. He could bring to the battlefield a sniper rifle, an assault rifle, and dual pistols. He could also have some biting attacks and some attacks where he would use his shell. The thing with Piku is that even if he is a good marksman, on the tracks he is known to be reckless and causes a lot of accidents, so I thought that his moveset could be a weird mixture of zoning and rushdown. He would have decent range attacks and fast melee attacks to confuse and overwhelm his enemies. He probably should not be able to do much damage to balance things out. One of the things I heard back when I was still paying attention to Smash speculation and everything surrounding it was that the way to allow Ganondorf to have the moveset reworked everyone wanted him to have without getting rid completely of his old moveset would be to give it to Black Shadow. Being a bigger, slower, stronger Captain Falcon makes a lot more sense for Black Shadow, seeing as they are rivals and that Black Shadow prefers strength over anything else. However, the fact that Ganondorf's moveset before the sword fits perfectly with Black Shadow doesn't stop us from giving him some unique moves. His down B, instead of a kick, could be a move where he charges through the stage with super armor. It would have a lot of end lag and would be predictable, so it wouldn't be broken. Think of it as a Wonder Wing, but predictable. He also would not be able to use it in the air, instead replacing it with an attack where he drops on the stage like Bowser. He would also have a special where he throws the weird substance to prevent enemies from moving. It would work like when Yoshi puts opponents in eggs. The next character I want in my roster is Jody Summer. She is a skilled combat pilot for the Galactic Space Federation. I have honestly no idea what a moveset for her could be like, except maybe by making her play like her machine, the White Cat. Full speed and no strength, similar to a fighter like Sheik. Jody is an incredible athlete, so making her really fast makes sense. Also, the Galactic Federation wants to give her machine a stealth system, so what if instead they manage to make it work for Jody herself? Going invisible as an actual part of a moveset could be interesting. On a final note for Jody, her dad was the one who designed the G-Diffuser anti-gravity system that are in all the F-Zero machines, but is also what allows the ships in the Star Fox series to move and reflect projectiles, so maybe Jody could have a reflector like Fox. The sixth character is Deathborn. He is an even bigger villain than Black Shadow and the main antagonist of F-Zero GX, the last canonical F-Zero game. The basis of his moveset will be teleportation, seeing as he can instantaneously travel through space. He would also be able to throw dark energy beams and use his weapon that we see in F-Zero GX. He could also throw poison needles because his machine, the Dark Schneider, is equipped with poison needles that attacks anyone other than him trying to steal the vehicle. His final smash would trigger a cutscene in which he would gain the 2 champion belts and use them to unleash a devastating attack. The seventh character for this video is Super Aero. It is said that Super Aero has superpowers, but the only one he showcased were Super Strength and Flight, but even those two are enough to come up with a moveset. Plus, Super Aero would be the only character based on a traditional American superhero, kinda like Superman, and that fact alone could be the reason why he could have gotten into Smash. Masahiro Sakurai has made decisions like this already, like with Incineroar, because it gave him an opportunity to put a wrestler in the game, something that wasn't in it already, like the superhero archetype. He could also have a move where he sends his owl to attack the enemy, like Nakoruru from Samurai Shodown. For his final smash, maybe Mrs. Aero could show up in her machine to hit the enemy. It could even have a comedic twist to it, where Mrs. Aero is not actually trying to hit the enemy, but is instead chasing her husband who is running away. The eighth character is Zoda. There was no way I would let a superhero get into Smash without also adding his supervillain counterpart. Zoda is a modified human that has a device that pumps dopamine and adrenaline in his body. In Smash, he could work like Bane in Injustice, with a special that boosts his stats by giving him more adrenaline and dopamine, but after a certain time it would run out and leave him in withdrawal, where he would be even weaker than his normal state. It could be cool to have a character where the player will have to manually decide when is the best time to boost their own stats, while being aware of the consequences. Before talking about the last character, I would like to present some honorable mentions. First, Octoman, a fighter with 8 limbs, could have an interesting moveset and cool looking animations. James McLeod, as an eco fighter for Fox, would be hilarious. And Mr. EAD, as an android version of Mario, would be even funnier. Dr. Stewart would have made sense as he is the only remaining pilot from the original game that isn't in my roster. But unlike the other ones, he has no combat experience or training, and there's a lot of other pilots that could have worked as well. But for the final character, the one I chose is Ryu Suzaku, or Rick Wheeler in the English version. Sorry, I think Rick Wheeler is a weird name, so I will call him Ryu. He is a character from the anime F-Zero The Legend of Falcon, or as it is called originally, F-Zero Falcon Densetsu. Now you are probably getting mad at me because anime characters cannot be playable in Smash Bros, but I think it could work because the anime started airing only a month before the game came out in Japan, so the video game and the anime were in production at the same time, and the anime was basically promotional material for the game. Ryu is basically Fry from Futurama, but as a badass F-Zero pilot. He is somewhat based on Ryu from Street Fighter, so having 2 characters named Ryu on the character select screen would be awkward, though the English version would not have this problem. For one of his alternate costumes, he would wear his Captain Falcon costume. In the anime, he uses an energy pistol that is basically useless in most fights, so in Smash, it would work like Fox's lasers, but with a bit of knockback, like Falco in Melee. If he is not using his gun, Ryu is actually a pretty good hand-to-hand combatant, though it seems he prefers to kick instead of punching. His normal attacks could be similar to Captain Falcon's, but he would be slower and less powerful, because as we can see in the anime, when he tries to fight Blood Falcon, he is completely outmatched in both categories. Also, most attacks where Falcon uses his arms, Ryu would use his legs instead. In episode 4, we see that his machine has a grappling hook, so his up special could be a tether recovery with a grappling hook. His side special would be the boost fire. He would dash forward while spinning at incredible speed and do decent damage. It would be blue, like most time that we see him and Falcon use that move in the anime. His special gimmick that would make him unique is that there would be a way to make the boost fire even stronger. To reflect on F-Zero machine, Ryu's dash could take longer than most fighters to reach its maximum speed, but if he were to use boost fire exactly before he reaches that top speed, his boost fire would be gold instead of blue and could have some really broken stats or effect. To account for lag and input delay, it probably wouldn't have to be frame perfect though. I have 2 alternatives for his final smash. The obvious and boring option would let him get in his machine, the Dragon Bird, and use the boost fire full power. It would have a cool cinematic animation, maybe even with an anime art style instead of the game models. The second option would be called Legacy Falcon Punch. We would see Ryu closing his eyes, and he would hear Captain Falcon say, "Only the one who surpasses Falcon can become Falcon," and then Ryu would open his eyes and there would be the shadow of Captain Falcon behind him, and they would both start punching while yelling Falcon Punch. The father-son Kamehameha is my inspiration for this final smash idea. So there we have it, my take on what could be 9 F-Zero characters that could have gotten in Super Smash Bros. In an alternate universe. Finally back with 9 characters after the last 2 episodes. Hopefully I will be able to keep my roster with the number of characters. Speaking of previous episodes, I would like to add Emmy to my roster for the Metroid series. It still leaves us with only 8, but it's better than nothing. After studying the F-Zero franchise for this video, I can confidently say that I like its universe and wish Nintendo would bring it back soon. Thanks for watching, and until next time.